Well, Mythical Champions and Raid Shadow Legends, guys. I released a video a couple days ago talking about my fears with Mythical Champions, and it seems like, to the shocker of absolutely nobody, all the worst of my fears look to be coming true inside this Mythical's little sneak peek video that we got, update preview, if you will, by Raid Shadow Legends. Now, like I said in my last video as well, I'm not trying to get you guys all fired up and to quit the game or anything, because I love you guys and I want you to be here to watch my videos, selfishly, and I like hanging out and talking raid with you guys in the comments. But I have to deliver the news to you guys, and I have to deliver my opinion, which unfortunately is not a great one today. I will say quickly before we jump into it here that I saw a collab from Scratch and Cold Brew on Scratch's channel. I'm not sure if they both uploaded it. Either way, they had a conversation about Mythicals, and Cold Brew, who I think is just an amazing dude. All the creators are out there in Raid. Another reason why I love this game and this community. But Cold Brew is just like, dude, ultimately, he didn't seem like he was sweating anything as much as at least yours truly is, right? And I think he had a really good kind of Zen mentality here. Play the game your way. Otherwise, you're going to be frustrated when dealing with Plarium and Raid Shadow Legends in terms of their, their monetary decisions, right, in the game. Play the game your way. Enjoy the game for what it is. That, ladies and gentlemen, is what I'd advise to you guys as a quick disclaimer before we take a crap on all of the new update info. So let's quickly watch this video. I apologize. We're going to do it in a time and a half playback speed because I feel like I'm the fifth YouTuber to react to this thing, but we're going to pause it and give my reaction along the way. Let's go.
To Mythical Champions. As they're the next step up from Legendary, we've gone all out to make Mythical Champions feel truly special. So what exactly makes them so next level? In a nutshell, Mythical Champions are essentially
the cost.
Two champions in one. They can change between two forms through an exciting new mechanic we're calling Metamorph. Each form will have a different set of skills, and sometimes they'll change a champion's type entirely. Let's check out how these warriors of myth look in battle. Allow me to introduce you to my mythical friend, Siegfried the Nephilim. Siegfried may look like your standard paragon of the Sacred Order, but wait, he hides a dark secret. When all of Siegfried's allies die, his Metamorph skill activates, transforming him into a flaming angel of vengeance. Check it out, even his shield is angry. It's not just Siegfried's appearance that's changed. All of his skills are different now too. His first, or base form, focuses entirely on cracking skulls and dealing damage. Now that he's transformed into a second, or alternate form, he's a healer who can revive his fallen friends and get them back in the fight. So there's a very quick demonstration of the Metamorph mechanic, the signature feature of Mythical Champions. Now, let's really get into the nuts and bolts of how they work, how to make the most out of them, and how to get them. We'll start with that last and most important point, how to get a Mythical Champion. Presenting...
Well. Here we go, guys. The Primal Shards. You can see them. I'm blocking the Primal Shard. You can see... Sorry about the... You can see right here, guys. Right here. It's this Primal Shards summon rare, epic, legendary, and mythical. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Like I said, is this really a surprise? Not really. Not really. But come on, man. I can only imagine how much these bad boys are going to cost, A. And the fact that you can summon rares from a primal, give me a break. Give me a break, dude. We knew it, though. I mean, did anybody really expect anything differently? Let's be real here. Rare shards from the Primal Shard. Awesome. And the worst part is, to me... Well, I guess the worst part is that you can summon rares from them, right? And they're going to cost a lot, right? Can't even imagine. Probably $50 each or something? $100? I don't know, but I would venture a guess in that neighborhood, right? The worst part is they grab that you farm these. Well, you farm these by farming up quartz, primal quartz, okay? So some of you might be thinking, Ash, but wait, bro, you said we want these things to be farmable in your last video. Like, I was talking about the skill tomes, first of all, not the shards. But this is just borrowing a very bad page from the Prism Shards, right? And we know how popular Prism Shards are among you guys. They cost a lot. They're very expensive. Primal are going to be even more expensive. And you can farm them by, all you got to do is collect 100 little fragments of one to get one to open up your nice new sexy rare champion, ladies and gentlemen. 100. You need to farm 100 quartz. And well, let's see what they say about this.
Primal Shards. These new, angry-looking red shards will be your main way to summon mythical champions. But you can also get rares, epics, and legendaries of all affinities, except Void from them too. At launch, there won't be any mythical Void champions, but we'll be sure to let you know when that changes and how...
Oh, joy.
You can add them to your collection. Primal Shards can also be formed by collecting Primal Quartz. Collect 100 of this mythical substance, and you can create a Primal Shard.
100 equals 1 shard.
Both Primal Shards and Quartz can be earned from certain events or other in-game activities, so get hunting. So I've got a mythical...
Events and other in-game activities. It's funny, but I think that the trigger word that I'm looking at here is activities, right? You know what you don't hear there? And I hope I'm wrong. Again, so far I haven't been, but I hope I'm wrong. But you know what that means to me? It means like, you know, it's going to be like a soulstone type thing, right? Where I don't even know if they'll be attached to a dungeon at all. Maybe there'll be a new dungeon. I think they would have said, other than events and activities, they probably would have said a brand new area inside Raid or whatever, a brand new dungeon, a brand new blah, blah, blah. Nah, there was no mention of anything new. They're just going to add like a few of these things as like top tier rewards and events. So it's in a way, these Primal Shards, again, I'm being very pessimistic. I'm sorry. I woke up on the wrong side of the bed this morning. I apologize to you guys. I hate to be such a hater, but it kills me, man, internally, you know? But to me, this is kind of like one of those, like, one of those nods to free to play, like, hey, we're going to make them available in tournaments. Yeah, easy, easy. But then it's going to take you like 5 months to farm up one shard. And then that one shard that you get's probably going to pop out a rare. It's not going to feel very free-to-play friendly at all.
Champion, how do I power them up? Good news, they work exactly the same as any other champion. Fight in battles, send them to the sparring pit, use XP brews or food champions to gain experience, and use affinity potions to ascend them. Easy. They also come fresh out of the shard at rank 6, so no
Hey, one piece of good news. They're rank 6.
rank 5 chickens needed. Speaking of upgrades, time to talk skills. You'll need mythical tomes to develop their skills, and keep in mind that you'll need to upgrade each form skills separately.
So you upgrade each form skill separately. They do go on to say that the amount of skills are going to be roughly the same as a legendary, which I don't know exactly what that means because some legendaries like Pixial take like 18 and others take like 8. So saying they're roughly the same as a legendary doesn't really mean much, does it, guys? Does it? You know, in terms of the number of skills. It could be roughly the same as a Pixial. You know what I'm saying? The one good thing about this, though, just to be fair, cover the good too, is that it looks like you can actually dictate a little bit more than your average champion which skills you want these new mythical skill tomes to go into, right? And look at this account, 169 legendary skill tomes. Obviously a developer build here, guys. But you can dictate, you know, which form the skills go into, so you have a little bit of a say which skills. The bad news is, like we spoke about last video, I need to go in any more detail. I feel like I've made my point, but these things, they're going to be another incredibly expensive resource that we're going to need to upgrade these champions. Yeah, these mythical skill tomes, there's not going to be a way to farm them. I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong. I don't think I am.
But before you start panicking, fully upgrading all skills across both forms will require about the same amount of tomes as if you were upgrading a legendary champion.
What does that mean? What does that mean?
If you have a preference for one form over the other, consider using your tomes to focus on that form's skills first. For example, if you want our good buddy Siegfried primarily as a healer, use your tomes on his alternate form skills first. While you'll need to think about which skills you want to upgrade first, gear and masteries will remain the same across both forms. Find the perfect balance for both, or dedicate all your resources into one form. The choice is yours. As for empower, let's jump back to the metamorph mechanic for a closer look. We've already seen that each mythical champion will have 2 forms they can switch between. Here's the kicker. The way each mythical champion's metamorph skill works can differ. Remember Siegfried, our friendly neighborhood flaming angel? His base form's metamorph skill works like a passive and will only activate when all of his allies die. However, in his alternate form, Siegfried can activate his metamorph skill like any other active skill, turning him back into his base form at the touch of a button. In general, most mythical champions will have metamorph as a standard active skill, meaning they can change forms whenever they want. Cooldown willing, of course. Whenever a mythical champion uses their metamorph skill, they'll get an extra turn and all of their skills will have their cooldowns reset.
All skills, cooldowns reset, extra turn, better base stats, built-in extra resistance and stuff like that, or ignore resistance, that is. These guys are going to be OP.
Except for the metamorph skill. Metamorph skills also can't be affected by masteries, artifacts, or anything else that might increase or decrease cooldowns. A couple more things to keep in mind.
Metamorph skill, it can't be like reset by a Prince Kaimar or something like that. The skill that changes them into the other version.
And for switching forms, unless stated otherwise, you'll keep all buffs and debuffs when changing from one form to the other. Same goes for HP. You keep the same HP percentage across both forms, even if the max HP is different. However, shield buffs won't change their value. A 10k shield buff in base form will still be a 10k shield buff in alternate form. And finally, as the name suggests, mythical champions will always start a battle in their base form. With mythical champions, we're adding a whole new level of utility that players can use to their advantage. While they're very versatile, you'll need to think really carefully about which gear, masteries, and blessings suit your playstyle and team composition. We can't wait to see how these mythical champions shake up Raid. Be sure to keep an eye on the release notes and check the news to see which events and activities will have Primal Shards or Primal Quartz as rewards. We're also planning a major new feature that will have a mythical champion as a reward.
Major new feature that will have a mythical champion as a reward. I want to know more about this major new feature. So the major new feature could be something like the new dungeon that we kind of alluded to, perhaps not coming earlier in the video, right? So I want to keep my little tiny glass half full of water, half full of optimism, and think that there might be a new dungeon or something that we can farm all of this stuff. I don't think it's going to be the case, but who knows? Who knows? Hopefully, if it is, it gives better drop rates than the Iron Twins. So get your hands on a new, they didn't say free or anything like that. Let me listen again to the language they use.
As rewards. We're also planning a major new feature that will have a mythical champion as a reward.
That to me sounds like we can get one mythical champion through completing an Arbiter, a Ramen 2, or a Lydia, or a Mithrala type task inside the game, right? So that would be my best guess. There'll be one permanently available, champion vis-a-vis whatever they're going to add into the game along with these mythical champions. So that's it, guys. They give a look here. I'm going to mute it. You can see a look of some of these new mythical champions. Listen, to be positive for a moment here, I covered all the negative, right? You can see some of them. They look pretty cool. We get we can see the factions here as well. It'd be cool if we got one per faction. Dwarves, Sylvan Watchers. It looks like there's not one per faction or anything like that either. Anyway, because I was thinking maybe like Nightmare, Faction Wars, difficulty or something like that being a permanent solution. That would be pretty cool. But listen, getting our hands on one, I'm not going to complain. Getting our hands on the resources to actually upgrade it, that's another thing. In the short term, in the medium term, if we can get one for free early on, try it out, like that's a good thing. I'm not going to sit here and say anything other than that. However, I do fear the long-term ramifications are another move into an incredibly pay-to-win atmosphere inside this game. And, you know, the sad thing about it, guys, is like, as I said in the last video, I actually love this, you know? It definitely adds a really cool depth to the game strategically. These metamorphs or whatever, these mythical champions, I think it's really cool, right? You can assemble a team and basically one champion literally fills two roles in two different forms. And the strategic possibilities, if you take it to the next level, are really compelling for this entire update. So I think it's cool. But the thing is, and they all look amazing as always. So you get a hats off to the developers and the artists and the game designers behind this new feature. It's really cool. I want to be real with you guys. However, again, I cannot help but to go back to all the things we complained about in the first half of the video. You know, it's a shame because, and this is a very important point, very important, is this game, if they just kind of coasted with new content that wasn't a super money grab, the game that they've made is amazing, and it's gonna rake in, a lot of, I almost said win. It's going to rake in a lot of money. They're making millions and millions and millions of dollars already. The game inherently, the longer you play, the more you spend. And it's a psychological thing. You guys are aware. You start to get comfortable with spending $10 a month or a week or whatever it is in the beginning. At the very first time that you play a game like this is why they're a gotcha game, you're hesitant to spend any money. You know what? But then you're like, I can speed things up quite a bit exponentially if I just spend $10 on this one thing. And then it gets you comfortable spending $10 here and there. And then before you know it, you're comfortable with spending $50 here and there. And the next thing you know, you get that bonus, you put in the extra hours at work or whatever, and you're like, I deserve it. It's your birthday. I deserve a treat, $100. And then you get used to that, right? And the problem is when they keep increasing the ways to spend and the cost to spend in this game over time, it wears down the player base. It really does. You know, in a long-term effect, in the short term and the midterm, they make more money. And the problem is the high ups at Plarium, I feel like they're just getting a little bit too aggressive for their own deficit, right? I think this game could be an amazing long-term game, and you could still milk us. Plarium, hello, the cows, aka the players, are here to be milked for the next decade. If you just hand us some cool stuff that doesn't cost a bunch of money every so often, consider maybe with this update, giving us a way to get this stuff and enjoy this stuff without having to literally spend thousands of dollars. I can't believe that's a real life sentence that actually makes sense and it's not hyperbolic. I will end on that note, guys. Listen, Hopefully I'm wrong in my concerns, but I wanted to, again, share them with you guys, hear what you have to say in the comments below. Much love to all of you. I think I thanked you on the next video or the one after that, the shard opening video, but to the 1,700 of you guys who wish my kiddo a happy birthday in the last opinion video 2 days ago, you guys are freaking awesome. We scrolled through those comments, not one mean comment, over 1,000. We scrolled through, we didn't read them all, but we scrolled through. I'm like, look at all these people wishing you a happy birthday to my little boy. And he was just like, his face was beaming. And he's just like, how do they know? And I'm like, I told them, but they all love you, Bubba. They're all wishing you a happy birthday. And he was just, I don't know, it almost brought a tear to my eyes, guys. So thank you so much. That was really cool of you guys. Much love. I'll leave on a positive note. And as always, take care, guys.